Martin County has long been known for its open spaces, farms, and ranch lands. But as development continues to grow, more of this land is at risk of disappearing. This raises an important question. How can we preserve the land that supports our environment, wildlife, and local history? Agriculture has been an important part of Martin County's landscape for generations. Today, the county still contains nearly 180,000 acres of farmland across about 588 farms. Some of this land is not being protected through conservation programs. For example, Bullhammock Ranch, a cattle ranch of more than 5,800 acres, was recently approved for a conservation easement, ensuring the land will remain open while continuing to operate as a working ranch. To learn more about agriculture's role in land preservation, we spoke with Mr. Wes Carlton at Bullhammock Ranch. Would you mind introducing yourself?
My name is Wes Carlton, owner of Bullhammock Ranch.
Could you tell us a little bit about conservation efforts that happen on Bullhammock Ranch?
Bullhammock has several different conservation efforts. The first one was a water project on the east side of the ranch. Encompasses about 2,000 acres of water storage on natural wetlands, natural footprint. And then we did about a 70-acre water reservoir here that captures off-site water. And then Bullhammock Ranch just recently also did a perpetual easement. So what you see today, what it looked like forever.
Could you tell us about some of the environmental practices on your ranch?
25 years ago, 30 years ago maybe, a group of us got together and created the first BMP manual for the state of Florida. And it was for cattle. And that since has gone through many revisions. And now there's BMPs for citrus, golf, turf, forestry, vegetables, and it's reviewed by FDACS, Department of Agriculture, and DEP, Department of Environmental Protection.
Could you explain the importance of this land being preserved?
It breaks my heart to see what's happened on the state lands. It's just an exotic wasteland of pepper trees and Kogan grass. My motto has always been, I wanted to look better when I leave than when I took charge. So thank you. Nice having you.
After speaking with Mr. Wes Carlton, we saw how conservation easements can protect working lands from development while making it possible for a ranch to remain productive. To better understand how land is preserved in Martin County, we spoke with Michael Houston, a senior project manager in the Martin County Environmental Research Division. Thank you for meeting with me. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure, absolutely. And thank you for coming down to interview me today. My name is Michael Houston. I am a senior project manager in the Martin County Environmental Resource Division. And my job through this process is I help to shepherd properties from being nominated and submitted for potential acquisition through our process to get them approved for sales tax funding.
So what factors do the ELOC consider when deciding what lands to prioritize? Just lands that are available?
So when we originally set up the sales tax initiative, we wrote a manual and established procedures for how lands would go from being nominated to being approved for acquisition. And in that, it included having environmental assessments done from a group called the Florida Natural Areas Inventory, who works with the state land conservation programs to acquire their conservation land. So they would do environmental assessments that we have a citizen advisory board that then reviews and evaluates those properties and makes recommendations in terms of whether or not we should acquire the lands or not, and kind of ranks and prioritizes by how environmentally sensitive and how much value it had. They had 16 properties that they evaluated, 10,000 acres. Based on that, we now have a list that got approved by the county commissioners, and now we're going out to acquire those properties. So it's a whole process to get us to the point where we can even make offers and try and acquire these lands.
So in your opinion, which land is better to preserve, agricultural or native lands?
I wouldn't really speak to that. They all have values in different ways. Conservation lands are important because they protect native wild habitat and keep native habitats native. But these agricultural areas are also important because they help to protect wildlife corridors. You're still having conservation values on these properties as well. So that's a tough thing to come out and say what one preference would be or another.
Thank you for meeting with me. Speaking with Michael Houston gave us a much clearer understanding of how land preservation works in Martin County and the process required to protect these lands for the future. Preserving land is not only important for agriculture, but also for protecting natural ecosystems and wildlife habitats. To learn more about why conserving natural lands matters, we spoke with Merritt Matheson. Can you introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Merritt Matheson. I'm one of the members of the Environmental and Oversight Committee.
Could you explain a little bit about what the Indian River Keeper is?
So the Indian River Keeper is part of a worldwide organization of Waterkeepers Alliance. We're a nonprofit group of volunteers which work to protect water quality.
What are the benefits of preserving land?
Preserving land is critical for the health not only of that land, but of waterways all around us.
What are the biggest threats that impact the Indian River Lagoon?
So some of the biggest threats here are non-natural discharges from Lake Okeechobee. So any discharges from Lake Okeechobee wouldn't naturally come into this estuary. Some of the other problems are really seagrass degradation. Your seagrass helps hold down the sediment on the bottom of the lagoon, and it also helps filter out too much nutrients by its habitat, juvenile fish, and food. If you lose your immune system in a water body, it takes hits from storm events, from discharges from Lake Okeechobee, and those hits are harder on the lagoon in and of itself, and it's kind of a cascading effect down. So really focusing on water quality, letting seagrass rebound, helps ensure clean water throughout the lagoon.
How has the Indian River Lagoon changed from when you started with the Indian River Keepers?
The lagoon has changed. We've lost significant amounts of seagrass. We have problems with water quality, and we have problems with muck layers throughout in your lagoon, which kind of form an anaerobic layer where nothing can really grow. Seagrass can't get established. It's almost like an ooze. So the Indian River Lagoon has changed significantly over my lifetime.
What are the things people can do to protect the Indian River Lagoon and other waterways?
Helping protect our waterways can easily start with small changes. We encourage residents to not use fertilizers on their lawns during the wet season, starting June 1st and lasting till about the end of November. Obeying no wake zones cause too much turbidity in the area and harm seagrass not to run your prop through a grass bed. Get out of the boat, walk it carefully off a grass spot.
After talking with Merritt Matheson, we came away with a better understanding of how much natural lands do for Martin County. He showed us that protecting these spaces means protecting the wildlife, ecosystems, and natural balance of the community. Through this project, we learned that land preservation in Martin County depends on many different people working together. Farmers, ranchers, environmental staff, and conservation groups each play a different role in protecting the land, wildlife, and natural spaces that shape our community. Agriculture is not only part of Martin County's history, but also part of its future. Preserving working lands helps protect open spaces while allowing the land to continue serving an important purpose. As members of our community, we can use our voices by learning about local issues, asking questions, and sharing what we discover with others. As America marks 250 years of independence, this project is a reminder that communities have always been shaped by people who stay informed, get involved, and work to protect what matters most.